All right. Oh, not quite right. There we go. Okay, sorry for the little bit of a scrambled start. Let me just make sure. There we go. Okay, well, thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Christy Hillock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Salt Lake City, Utah, and my business is CJ Card Creations. I'm so glad that you found me, whether you're watching with me live tonight or watching on the replay. Hey, Janie, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here. I have been playing with new products and trying to come up with some fun new ways of doing things for you all. And so I have some fun stuff to tell you, but I just need to grab off the printer here. Sorry. Hey, Mom. Hey, Sarah. Good to see you. I am solo parenting tonight, so it's a little bit scrambled. Just, I feel like I've said that a lot lately, but Joe's travel schedule has been insane this spring. So let's see what I want to tell you. Next in-person class is May 16th. That's a Monday here at my house in Salt Lake. I definitely hope that you will join me. I'll post after the video, I'll put details of the card and links in the description of the video. And that way you'll be able to sign up for the class. The new catalog did kick off this week. And so if you don't already have a catalog copy, then let me know and I'll get that to you. And I have a class to go for the month based on the Blessings of Home bundle. Hey, Aunt Pat, thanks for being here. So I will show you those cards here in just a minute. And then again, there will be a link to register for that. And then I wanted to tell you just a little bit about how I wanted to, like I said, change some things up. And I thought that perhaps you guys would enjoy getting make and takes for the cards that I make on Thursday nights. So it's more of a class setup, but it will go over the course of the month. And so what that will look like is with any $35 order during May with a specific host code, you'll receive at the end of the month 3 kits to make one of each of the cards that I demonstrate for you. And so what that also means is that you can choose to purchase the products that I'm using, or you can use anything at home, because what I also wanted to do with this is show you alternate designs with the same layouts or techniques, or something similar, so that you didn't feel like, oh, well, she's using all these things I have to go buy and I don't want to do that. So it really will be adaptable to anything that you have, which I thought was really important. So that is pretty much all that I have to tell you. So I am going to flip the camera down now and clear out a couple things. Okay, so the first thing that I told you I would show you are the cards that come with my Blessings of Home class to go. So I had a lot of fun designing these. Each kit will include a half a pack of the designer series paper, a full bolt of the denim ribbon, and a full pack of the Pebbles enamel shapes. That is, of course, assuming that supply doesn't become an issue. However, the reason that I did decide to use those particular items this month is so that we don't run into quite as many supply issues, because that is just not that much fun. So I do try to steer away from those problems. All right, so let me see. Somewhere I have actually the samples that I made today. But they seem to have gone rogue. So let me find them. All right. So this is the card that I'm going to create for you tonight. And it uses 3 of the new in colors and some of the new designer series paper, as well as some of the Blessings of Home paper and stamp. So kind of a combo, multi-purpose thing going on here. Got to see if I've got water anywhere. So, okay. The first thing that we're going to want to do is bring in our piece of watercolor paper. And so again, I did want to just demonstrate watercoloring for you tonight. One of the most important things with watercoloring is what paper you decide to use. So I am using the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. You can also use the shimmer white paper, and that does work well. Just really depends on what you enjoy using. So the first thing that I want to do is just get this panel. This is 2.5 by 3.5. And again, I'll post those dimensions. But I'm just going to get this wet to get started. And this is an old aqua painter, but the new ones work just the same. And the new ones are actually awesome because you get 3 different size tips. And so you can do, you know, a little more focused plans there with what you're, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like if you want to do what I'm doing right here, you can use the really wide tipped brush. And if you're doing more detailed work, then obviously you would want the finer point. So, all right, I hear my daughter upstairs calling, and I told her that Mama was working, so she's gonna have to figure it out. I think she's been a little needy today because Dad has been gone quite a bit. So now that this is all washed, I just need it to dry. So normally I would let that air dry, and I do apologize, but I am going to bring in the heat tool so that this just goes a little bit faster, because if you were to watercolor the flowers now right on top of this, you would just make some brown with all the different colors. So let that dry. That's looking pretty good. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute while we do some of the other work here. So again, this is from the Heart and Home Designer Series paper. And it's got this cute little bee pattern on the back. What I thought was really awesome about this entire pack of paper is that every design has some kind of wood paneling on the back side of the design. So even if you don't necessarily love the bees, which they are pretty cute, so you know, maybe you need to rethink things, but you also have to remember that my business is called the Queen Bees, so I do love bees. But this can go for anything: masculine, feminine, floral, you know, cute little animals, whatever you like. So I really, really love these. So we're going to go ahead and stick this on just a basic gray card base. And the base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And then this panel is 4 by 5.25. So it just mats right on there. So, sorry, I keep reaching under the camera trying to find all the things. And just going to get some liquid glue on here. You could also use your adhesive runner. Stampin' Ups is the Seal. Seal Plus is more for 3D kinds of projects or things with a lot of texture that you are really worried about adhering securely. So, okay, there is that. Now I'm going to bring in from the In Color Designer Series paper stack these 2 strips. They're each 1 inch by 3 inch. And I did want to mention that Susan Campbell, I believe, is who shared this sketch or layout recently. And then I actually got it from Ange McKay. So it's super cute. It uses scraps of Designer Series paper that you might just have sitting around since they are so small. So you would by no means have to do the same 2 designs, but I did choose to do it that way today. So we will just get these tucked right in the corners. And I am spacing it so that this distance and this distance look roughly the same, but as we've talked about before, things look straight 1 minute and I swear they wiggle around because they look crooked when I turn back to it. So this paper being on the diagonal is certainly not going to help that situation much, but that's okay. So, okay, there's that. And then I also have just a basic white panel that is 4 by 5 1/4 that I'm going to do for the inside. And I die cut from the Flowers of Home, I think, dies. Let's see what they're called. Yes, Flowers of Home. So you get 2 big dies that cut out the big floral images, but then you also get all of these beautiful foliage stems and flower stems that you can use to really build up more of a dimensional kind of bouquet look. So I cut this one out of our new Sweet Sorbet, and I'm just going to use little bits of adhesive here. So, and Janie, we talked last week about how it doesn't squish out. And I mean, this does a little bit, but if you can tell, I am putting very little dots on here, just kind of in different spots so that it should stay on the cardstock, but it won't make a big mess. So I'm going to put this over here like so. Okay, and then we'll adhere this to the inside of the card. And thank you all for sharing. I'm glad you know the routine because I did not mention it. But if you will like and share this video, really helps me with visibility on Facebook. And also, if you put shared in the comments, then you will be eligible for a prize. And Pat, you actually won this week. And so I will be getting a pack of greeting cards in the mail to you. So congratulations. And there is that. So I think, I'm glad you like it. I really, especially in this Sweet Sorbet against the white and the gray, it just is so stunning. I really like that. So I'm going to bring in my mostly dry panel, and I didn't actually show you, but I have, this is just an old burnt cloth. And so when I'm ready to change colors, I squeeze water into the brush and then just kind of clean it on the cloth. So that being said, we are first going to line this up here and stamp the flower. And so for this, I'm actually using StazOn black ink, which is not my default because it's a little bit, it requires a little more careful cleaning. We actually sell a special cleaner for it, and then you want to use kind of a scrubby or something. So I do love it though because it smells like almonds, I think. I don't know. I love the smell, which is maybe not awesome, but anyway. All right, let's get that on there. And I mean, that would do, but I'm going to go ahead and do it a second time. I'm glad you like using the cards. I love knowing that my cards or any cards that any of you make are brightening up the world, because I really think that that is the most important part of what I do, is bringing people together, even, you know, if we live across the country or across the world. It's just really powerful to know that someone is thinking about you. So to get ink into the lid, I just squeeze it with the heel of my palm, and then you can see there's some ink. So I'm going to start with my Parakeet Party and just pick up a little bit here. And then with this, I'm not going to actually have it be as wet as I was for the wash, because I want the color to be just a little bit more controlled. So just going to fill in all these leaves and stems. Oh, I hear the child just wailing up there, and I told her. So this may become abbreviated, and if that happens, please forgive me. I just don't know. She has been hard today. We are struggling with not wanting to stay in her room for quiet time. And since quiet time is when I work, it really, really matters that she learns to respect that. So today she actually lost her watch time, and so we have had lots and lots and lots of tears. So I think she's probably just overtired at this point. So as you can see, it's not super precise, but this, especially with this green is amazing. It really stands out and is just fun, cheerful color here. The blue is Tahitian Tide. I can't remember if I told you that or not. And then I'm going to use also the Sweet Sorbet ink to hit the flowers. So there is that, and I'm just going to let that sit for a second while I clean my brush here. And I'm just hoping that my water doesn't run out. So, all right. I had 2 other water pens somewhere. I cleaned up some stuff and not other stuff, and you just never know where things disappear to. All right, so here is this, and it's like a red pink kind of combo. I don't know. I'm having a hard time figuring out what it most reminds me of, because it is by itself, you think that it's really just kind of red, but when you start putting it with other reds and pinks in our color lineup, it is very different. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Janie. These kids. But I think too, with it being the end of the school year, they just seem tired all the time. So just trying to push through. So, and Sarah, I'm glad that you think it looks precise enough. You know, you see some stuff that's really got that watercolor look that is kind of light and I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But sometimes that is just not quite what I want. And so that's why I do love the fine tip on some of the painters, because it just gives you that flexibility. So, all right, that is going to do it for that. So let me just clean this brush again. And with the reds and the pinks, you know, it does tend to stain the brush tip just a little bit. But as long as you can see that the water running through it is clear, you know you're good to go for the next color. So we'll get this out of the way. And I am just going to use quite a bit of liquid glue on this one, because watercolor paper has a lot more texture than the regular cardstock. And then especially once it's been wet, it curls just a little bit. And so I want to make sure that it does stay on the card. All right, so here is that. I have pearls somewhere. Let's see what I did. Okay, I thought that with the flower being kind of more of an elegant look, pearls would be really nice, just because I always think of fancy dressed up ladies with pearls. So I am just going to do 2 in each corner here. And this card is finished. And you'll notice there's no sentiment on here. And that is by design, because I feel like you could use this for Mother's Day or for birthday or sympathy, especially if you change the colors, you know, maybe to a purple or a blue. That sympathy would be really nice. So it just gives you a card that you can have at the ready, and not have to worry too much about, you know, making the right thing for this situation. Now, also on my original sample, I did emboss it with the timber embossing folder. And so I don't know, it shows a little bit, but that just gives a little more dimension to it. But with this one being on the diagonal, I felt like that wouldn't look quite right. So Now, I promised you that I was going to have other samples so that you can see how to adapt the make and take kits that I send to the products that you have or want to have at home. So this used the lovely, or hello, it's Hello Ladybug stamp set and the punch, and it's just so cute. And then I used the gingham embossing folder back here. And then I can't remember the name, Sweet Talk or something. These hearts are from the Valentine's set, basically, in the mini catalog. And then I did rhinestones because they're just a little more glam. And then this one, I used the Amazing Silhouettes stamp here. And these two designer series papers are from that 4x6 stack that I have absolutely no idea what its name is. But it's got gold in it too. And so you can see there's gold on the white. Oh, hey, Jane, I'm glad you're here and thank you. So there's gold on the black and white pattern. And so once I had put the basic white cardstock up against the predominantly white strips here, I don't feel like our basic white matches our designer series paper very well. So I just glammed it up a little bit. I used some gold foiling. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I made quite the mess today. So that was fun. And my gold foiling technique could use a little love too, because I missed some spots and whatever. However, you can see you can really do this layout with just about anything. It doesn't have to be watercolor. You really have a lot of options. So I hope that you found that helpful this evening. And I'm going to switch over here. Okay, so oh, I need to get up and turn the light on, but anyway, we're just going to roll with this tonight. So thank you so much for your shares, your likes, your comments. I really, really appreciate you being here and the time that I get to spend with you every week. I hope that you will be excited about the make and take kits that you'll receive at the end of the month, as long as you order with the host code that I will put up. And if you have any questions about anything else that I offer, then I would be delighted to answer texts or Facebook messages or emails, however works for you. So I hope that you have a lovely evening, and I will see you right back here next week. Thanks so much. Bye.